Welcome to a Toast to Treats. This is where I share the mental, financial, and emotional frustrations of being an entrepreneur. This is season 9, episode 10, the end of a blogging era. So before we get into today's topic and everything, I just want to say that this is, I believe, episode 60. And so I've shared my blog journey over 60 episodes. Well, this will be 60. And I am impressed with the growth and the change, the evolution, the focus, the determination that I have consistently had since I started blogging professionally September 17th, 2011. So this episode, we're going to dive into a little bit about, like I said, the end of a blogging era. Okay, so let's hop into this week's question. When do you know it's time to level up? So when Sierra came out with her song Level Up, I was like, that's my new anthem, because for the longest time, my anthem was Go Get It by Mary Mary. So every time I was like frustrated, couldn't think, couldn't do, just all kind of craziness, I would play my song Go Get It. Now my theme song is Level Up. And so where does leveling up come from? Does it come from within? Does it come from seeing other people do things? Does it come from seeing change within yourself? Is it something that you want to do? Should you do? Like, there's so many different questions you can go and ask yourself when you think of the phrase level up. But I want to put that phrase attached to what my topic is for this week. Now, I know it's like ERA, and I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but that's my little country Texas twang, so that's okay. So anyway, the end of a blogging era. And why am I saying that? Why am I saying that this is the end of something when, like, I just had an amazing Me Paid Influencer Bootcamp event this past week, September 17th, 2019, which is also my 8-year blog anniversary. So why am I saying something is ending when I just had an amazing, phenomenal, exceptional event? I was happy. I enjoyed it. Like, I'm overjoyed with the event and how it turned out. And fun fact, I did not speak at my own event. It's rare that it happens, but this event I did not speak. Long story short, Houston weather, hello, had us delay and just trying to make sure everything got done and all the speakers got their due and their shine and their spotlight. And, it was more so for them and the attendees than it was for me to get up on a stage and say anything. So I cut myself out of the programming and I was okay with that. Now, anyway, why am I saying this is the end of something? Right? Like 8 years going strong. I don't see myself doing anything else. I don't see myself leaving blogging. I don't see myself wanting to jump into some type of corporate America position. That's just not me, right? I have been playing small. I know I've said it in past episodes, but it really dawned on me. The people that I have been servicing and going after, these people are no longer the customer base that I want to provide a service for. These are the people, and I'm not talking about my covering an event service. I'm not talking about that. That's a totally different client base. If you're like an event producer, event coordinator, then you're my client base for that, because that's a totally different. But me helping other people make money as a blogger, like bloggers in general, okay? So I realized that I'm not for the masses anymore. I'm not advocating for everyone anymore. I'm not about to bust my behind out here to help other people understand, to protect themselves, to pay their taxes, to do this, to do that, to draw up a contract, to position themselves, to know what to charge, to know what services to add or take away, or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm so over that, right? Because it is frustrating on my behalf, because I want whoever I'm talking to do well, but I can't want it more than they. And I also will not do the work for you, and then you reap rewards and you watch me do something. Okay, so I'm over that, solely because when I'm working with someone, I want them to implement what I'm sharing, because I want you to have the transformation. Like, if you really love blogging, if you really want to do blogging, and I'm telling you, after we sit down and we talk about your goals and all these things that you want to do, and I'm telling you, hey, why don't you try A, B, C? I'm trying to keep it simple, but consistency also is part of simplicity. Like, in order for things to work, you have to be consistent at it. And if I'm giving you a simple task, then you have to do it repeatedly until the task takes off, and then you get the rewards from it, i.e. money. But if you're not doing that, then you're going to say, oh, this didn't work, that didn't work. It didn't work because you didn't work. Okay, so let's be real about that. It didn't work because you didn't work. However, I realized that because I have been doing this for 8 years and I have been getting paid for 8 years, I'm at a different level now. And it's time for me to work with people who also have the mindset that I have been searching for, trying to cultivate. Like, when I had the blog association, I wanted to cultivate this mindset of professionalism and go-getting type of attitude when it came to creating a blog that actually makes money. I can't create and cultivate that for other people. I have to accept people where they are. So if they do not have that mindset, I'm no longer the person to work with them. I'm not doing beginning stuff. I'm not telling you how to start a blog, how to create a blog post, how to put your blog up on your .com, how to size a graphic. I'm not doing that stuff, because at the end of the day, that's not as important as having a strategy that you can implement that generates revenue for your business. Okay. So those people who are just like, I'm going to have a blog, and 2 years later, still no blog, you're not my people anymore. You're not the bloggers that I want to help. There's many other people who will continue to sell you courses, and you'll continue to buy them, and you'll continue to not do anything with them, right? I'm wanting to work with people who are like, I have been blogging, maybe not as consistent as I should, but I have been blogging. I have a following. People listen to me. People want things from me. I'm just maybe not able to make as many sales as I would like, or I don't know exactly what to offer to my audience that they would buy. Or people are saying, I will give you money if you do XYZ, but I just don't know how to put XYZ together. Now, you can get this in bits and pieces. You know, people do webinars and courses and consultations and coaching on different aspects of these, right? You can piece together, or you can sit down with someone and actually create the strategy, because then you will know which coach to hire, which consultant to hire, which webinar to buy, which course to take. That's what I want to do with bloggers, right? So here we are talking about the end of an era. The end of the era for me is the end of working with broke-minded bloggers. And by broke-minded bloggers, I mean people who you just don't care. You know, you don't, you want something, but you don't want to work for it. You feel you deserve something because you thought of it, but you never put yourself in position to actually receive it. And in order to put yourself in position to receive it, that means you had to actually take steps to actually do something to move into that position. So if you're someone who just thinks, I thought of it, I want it, I deserve it, someone should give it to me, that's a toddler mentality. Toddlers are the ones who see something and it's mine, okay? If you have that broke-minded blogger mentality, I can't work with you. I don't have the patience. I don't want you to buy any of my stuff because you're not going to do anything. I don't want people to buy from me if they're not going to do what's necessary for the transformation to exist. In the last 8 years, I helped tons of people, tons of bloggers, tons of people who wanted to be bloggers, going all over Houston, going outside of my regular consulting hours, just trying to accommodate people because I wanted people to have opportunities. The reason I had so many opportunities in the early stages, I positioned myself. Everywhere I went, I'm a blogger. I made sure everybody knew it. I made sure I created stellar content. I made sure I was at the events where people were going to be, that I knew who would buy the services that I was selling. So I was out there doing the work. It was a grind. It's not even a hustle, because hustle means you're trying to sell. Okay, I'm going to give you my definitions, right? Hustle means you're trying to sell something, whether it's something you offer and sell all the time or not. You're just trying to sell it. If you grind in, you are trying to establish a consistency or a recognition of something that you do or want to do on a common base. So if I'm out here grinding, letting people know I'm a blogger, I can help you with all things blog, right? At the time, it was all things blog, social media management, all of that. I'm out there. And then last year, when Jay Stone was like, paid event blogger, because she asked me, what is it I like to do and get paid for? I was like, events. I get paid for events. Now, here's the thing. How you get paid for events can, vary. If you're listening to this, go get my How to Cover Events and Get Paid training. It's $1. The reason it's $1 because I want you to put forth an effort of, pulling out your debit card. Because if you're going to spend money, you're more than likely going to actually do what's in the course, right? So anyway, this is one of those things where I'm not making it hard for you. I'm just making you commit to yourself. Anyway, so I said paid event blogger. Now, she told me that like in May 2018. It wasn't until November 2018 that I actually started using the title and focusing on it. So during that time, I was getting some clients and it was a little bit chaotic in my life. We all know how 2018 went for me. You can listen to seasons 7 and 8 about that. Anyway, now, as soon as I started saying paid event blogger, started working with Gumroad. They were the sponsor for season 8. And I worked with Cirque du Soleil, and I've worked with some other phenomenal people. But those two came on board like within a week or two of me putting that out into the atmosphere, paid event blogger. And then I started focusing more on just events, no more. Well, I haven't done social media management in a long time, but when people come to me, because people still come to me and ask for that, they ask for, content creation and some other things. So what I had to do was really focus on the services that I needed to offer, what I was going to provide in the marketplace that had my name attached to it. All of 2019, I did events. I covered events, worked events, did some influencer management, and, I wanted to try to dip into some things just to kind of stretch myself and see. And then I also realized oh no, this is not for me. It's not. Now, this recording is September 2019, and I have just celebrated my 8-year blog anniversary. I plan to have the biggest conference that I've ever had as a blogger, and I didn't have the 100 people show up because, I think it was like episode 8 where I talked about how I struggled with this event. We did. We ended up having like over 20 something people come, almost 30 people in the rain. Like Tropical Storm Imelda was coming down on Tuesday. It wasn't as bad as it got like by the 19th, which is Thursday. But it was flooding in some parts and, just heavy rains and people had to take their time and all this stuff. So long story short, the fact that all those people still came out to the event, even though some people were supposed to come and I was getting text messages that morning that they were unable, I didn't want anyone to freak out because being safe is way more important than you showing up to some event. With that being said, I feel that the reason I continue with that event and did not cancel it, rain, low ticket sales, whatever the case may be, is because I needed to go through with it because it needed to be the last thing for those first 8 years of my blog career. It needed to be the final stamp on these were, I'm saying it again, were the people you were targeting, the people you were helping, the people you wanted to teach how to make money as a blogger. And this event, because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to come to the next one. I want to come to the next one. Well, if you listened a few minutes ago, I'm going after a different segment of people, and it's the mentality segment of people that I'm going after. So Get Me Paid Influencer Bootcamp was the stamp that said, this is the end of these 8 years. You have a foundation, Bernetta. You've done incredible work. You've started things. You have established things. You have done things that other bloggers have not. You've had a TV show. You've started a blog association. You have traveled around the country talking about blogging. You have covered events from local to international. You have created a brand and sold it. You've created 2 other brands that you're in, want to sell. And so I've done things. I've done incredible things as a blogger. And I now need to focus on narrowing who I'm working with. Because now my mentality of playing small has kicked in. I don't want to be exhausted trying to chase and help all these people who don't want to be helped. Some people like to just talk to talk. I'm learning that. Some people just like to talk to talk. So I have to understand that even if I see potential in someone, I have to walk away and let it go. I can't be the one to say, hey, I see that you are doing XYZ. If you do this, it can change things and help you make money. Because I can tell you right now, I know what I'm talking about because people who can't stand me, who have lied on me, are implementing things that I told them to do and they're making money from it. So I know you don't have to like me, but I know what I'm talking about. And that is what I want to do with the group of people who have the mentality I'm looking for. So I said the mentality I'm not looking for is the broke-minded blogger. I'm not working with you. And by broke, it has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with how you see yourself, your work ethic, and your opportunities. The type of people that I want to work with are people who are optimistic, and I'm not an optimist, okay? So let's just put that out there, okay? But you are optimistic about your opportunities. Like, things could be like going crazy, haywire, and I'm still like, okay, we can figure this out. We can turn it around. We can adapt. We can make pivots. We can do what needs to be done. Like, I'm not going to quit until I've exhausted every single option I can think of, that I can pray about, that I can implement. So if you have that type of mentality where okay, I'm going in this direction, things aren't working, but I could do this now. So you can continue. That's who I want to work with. I want to work with people who want to actually be a blogger, and that's your business. I know some people are like, you can't make money or you can't sustain yourself as a blogger. You can. Now, blogger, content creator, influencer, they're similar but not the same. You can be a blogger with influencer, tendencies or content creator tendencies. I'm a person, I don't really want to be out front. So influencing is really not for me, even though I know I am seen as an influencer to some people. I'm not completely an influencer or in that influencer life. That's not for me. I would probably lean more towards content creation where I can create stuff for you. I can teach you. I can help you with your strategy, do all those things for your event, give it to you and y'all go do it. Or, if I'm covering and promoting, I'm still, in my mind, I'm still not out front because that's your event and your event is front and center and not me. So anyway, but at the basis of it, I am a blogger. There is a difference between people who have a blog, people who blog, and people who are a blogger. I am a blogger. I am a proud paid blogger, and I am someone who has been able to get paid for 8 years in a row as a blogger. And I want to help other people create businesses create businesses around your blog. So what we're going to do is take a sip and then we will be right back. Okay, so we just had Get Me Paid, and I want to talk to you a little bit about Houston Catering Concepts. They were the caterer for this event, and oh my God, the food was amazing. Everybody, and I mean everybody, could not stop complimenting the caterer. The food was so good. I know I went back for a few more things. A few other people went back for a few more things. It was just amazing. I mean, the special crafted menu that they created and the presentation and oh my God, the food. Oh, Jesus Christ. When you have some good food, it just makes the event better. It really does. So if I were you, what I would do is go to orders with an S at houstoncatering.com or call 832-594-7296 so you have food that people talk about and love, because again, if people enjoy the food, they're going to be more relaxed, more in tune, and they're definitely going to enjoy your event even more. So again, go ahead and contact Houston Catering Concepts because you will not be disappointed. Trust me, I don't lie about food. That's something I do not lie about because food is too crucial in my life for me to sit there and send you to somewhere where you're going to be disappointed with the quality of taste. Go ahead and contact Houston Catering Concepts. Okay, so we're back. And y'all know I get on little rants and go all around and blah, 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 all that stuff. So anyway, what I want to tell you guys is how excited I am about this new era that I am going into. Like, the first 8 years of my blogging career were definitely frustrating because mentally I was trying to do and be for everybody, trying to make sure everybody was blogging and getting opportunities and, we're doing things that I was doing, having opportunities that I was having. Emotionally, I was so frustrated because I would get frustrated that I felt underappreciated, that I was doing more and caring more for them than they were for themselves. And then financially, I was wasting money trying to help other people when they didn't want to help themselves. So the basis of this podcast really came from lessons that I have learned over the past 8 years. So in this new era, I am going to have better intentions or have the mindset of the intentions that I want, right? And so, again, going back to what we were talking about before the break, if you have the optimistic, I can create opportunities no matter how bleak the path that I'm on looks, you are the blogger I want to work with because I want to help you create a business. Now, I am still doing event coverage and promotion that I realize I absolutely like. I like it. There's a difference between loving something and liking something. You can love people and not like them. Like, you can love people because they're your family or whatever, friends, whatever, but they may have this attitude that you just like, I may want to hit you if you come close. Okay, so you don't like being around them. If it's something or someone you don't like, you usually don't put as much thought and you're not as meticulous and you're not as forthcoming about doing things. So I like event coverage. I enjoy it. I like promoting other people's events because I want you to have people show up to your event, and I want people who are interested in the theme or the topic of your event to know it exists. So, and it's crazy, right? That I'm an introvert. And events are something I like because most introverts don't like being around other people. Yet the oxymoron is I don't like being around people all the time, but I love events. It's just something about the energy when you're at the right event with the right people and you're all creating a synergy of optimism that when I leave here, I'm going to make things happen. That's what I love about events, and that's why I like covering them and promoting them. So I know I'm working with one event I'm not going to tell you guys about because my demographic is not the same demographic as the event. Does that mean I can't work for them? No, I guess the concepts of what I do can be for any event. It's just marketing to my audience won't benefit them, and I told them that. However, they are working with me to help them create the event story. What does that mean? The event story is connecting their idea and their goals to the people who feel compelled to engage with that. So you have to create a story that taps into that person's emotion to get them to want to buy a ticket and all this stuff. You have to tap into someone's emotion to make them pull out that debit card and buy that ticket. You have to tap into someone's emotion to make them want to come. Because I like doing live events. I don't like doing online events. I have worked on some. I have helped market them. I just don't like doing online events because you still need that human connection. As an introvert, as much as I love enjoying spending time by myself, I know there's a special synergy when you're around other people. Like I said, in the right atmosphere, talking about the right things, and you're all trying to help each other grow. Or just socialize. Sometimes you just need to be at an event where you're just kicking and laughing and enjoying yourself, having a good time. So anyway, I'm working with this event and we're going to create their event story. They already have their own social media people to manage. They already have their target audience because we've already had our first consultation to kind of see what their event was about, to see if it was something I felt I could do. And so anyway, when they follow back up and say, yes, we want to work with you, this is what we are looking for. Well, they said this is what we can pay. And I told them for that price, this is what you can get. And so we went from there. Anyway, what I'm saying all this to say, I am working with people who come back and say, here's the money. This is what we want you to do. And it's stuff that I want to do. And it's prices that I am good with. Like right before I was recording this, I read this article on Forbes. It had to be a couple of years old. Anyway, it was talking about happy and sad pricing. So everybody can't start off at $10,000. Everybody can't charge $10,000, right? Not at the moment. However, What is a happy price for you? What is something that people will pay you that you're like, yay, and then you go do the work and you're so happy about doing the work? That's what you should price yourself, right? Now, if someone says, I will pay, like, Vernetta, I have $25. What can I get? I'm like, a tweet. And it ain't even going to probably be carefully curated. It's probably going to be just some random tweet, right? Now, if someone's like, Vernetta, I have $2,500. What can I get? Oh, you can get ABC, right? So $2,500 is like my happy place. $25 is a sad place, and I'm probably not going to entertain that offer. So whatever price makes you happy, where you will do the work, you will get it done, that's what you charge. If you cannot charge the top tier of whatever niche you're in. Like, for example, I know fashion bloggers, some people can charge $5,000, $10,000 for some Instagram post, right? If you're not at the $5,000, $10,000 mark, but someone offers you $750, if it makes you happy, do your one, maybe two Instagram posts, maybe one story with just like 1 to 3 videos. If $750 makes you sad because you're like, I'm going to be doing all this work, it's just going to end up costing me more, then don't take the $750. Weigh out your costs. For me, writing event stories after I've spoken with the people that I'm working with, it's pretty easy for me. Writing, because I taught writing for 11 years as an ESL teacher, writing is something I have practiced every single day. Whether I'm journaling, whether I'm blogging, whether I was teaching it, every single day for well over a decade, not counting my love of writing since I was in elementary. So writing is something I exercise on a daily basis. So when it's time for me to do the work, after I have all the information that I need, I'm going to go get the work done. So I would definitely be on board if someone's like, hey, Vernetta, I can't afford your full package, but can you help me craft a story so that the people that I want to come will feel compelled and connected enough to be engaged with what I'm posting? Definitely. We can do that. I can help you create that story, So anyway, so the new era of what I'm doing is sticking with events. I know some people have said, oh, I see you doing other things, or you should probably do other things, or you're so this, you're so that. In the past era, because I'm in a new one now, in the past era, I would let other people's perceptions and thoughts of what I should do, I would let that sway me into areas that I may not have enough knowledge or expertise in, I may not feel comfortable with, I may not even like, I don't enjoy. So you who are listening, you have to think about that. If you've been in this era of just constant frustration, whether you're crying all the time, you're cussing people out all the time, you're snappy, you're passive aggressive, you begrudgingly do things, you're frustrated. Those are all signs of frustration. And you're not going to have the type of quality, the type of connections, the type of opportunities that you so desire if you are constantly frustrated. And if you're helping people and, like I said, emotionally it's just wearing you out, then mentally it's going to fatigue you. Mentally it's going to drain you. Mentally it's going to exhaust you. Mentally you're going to try to think of ways to make yourself feel better, and then you're not going to be able to think straight for yourself. What happens financially? You start losing money because you're not making wise decisions. You start spending carelessly because you're not paying attention. You start trying to hire all these people to help you get it together when essentially you should probably sit down and evaluate the root of the problem in your life. financially, you're probably not paying attention to your bookkeeping. You're probably overspending eating out. So now your personal budget is starting to be affected. And when your personal budget is affected, then you start dipping into your business budget to cover that and vice versa. So it's a lot, right? And I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from an era that is ended. It ended September 17th, 2019 is over. Those 8 years of the frustrations are over. Now, will this podcast change? No, because you know what? You're still going to be frustrated whether you're in a new, old, whatever era. People are still going to do things. You're still going to make mistakes. And when I say you, I'm talking about me. You're still going to make mistakes. You're still going to do things. You're still going to learn. You're still going to grow. You're still going to evolve. You're going to see, I could have done this better. Or, ooh, I probably should change this, right? So I'm sharing all of this to say that I'm excited about the new blog era that I am entering. I'm excited about being able to help people craft event stories. You know, if you can't afford my full package, if you can't afford for me to come out or help you with your event promotion strategy and all of that, I would love to still sit, you know, and by sit, I mean, we're on a Zoom call. It will be recorded and you can receive it so you can watch it as many times as you want to. Sit with you and help you create your event story. I would love to do that. I'm not going to let anyone sway me to doing things that are outside of event storytelling, event coverage, and event promotion. What I have found to be true to me, isn't that what Oprah says? Like, what's true to me or something? I don't know. Somebody says it. Y'all know somebody said it. Anyway, what's true to me, what's true to Brunetta, is that if I'm gifted in an area, if it comes naturally to me, if it's something I don't have to think about, that I can effortlessly do, then that's where I need to stay. That's where I need to live so I can thrive, right? In this new era, I'm not going to allow myself to be talked into directions where it's going to lead me into an area that may not be fruitful for me because I may not have the foundation for it. That's something we all have to think about. People can say, oh, this is a great opportunity, but if you do not have the foundation for that opportunity, how much fruit are you really going to bear from that opportunity? Now, when it comes to events, I can get paid for that because I have 8 years experience doing that. Now, I was planning events in college and stuff like that. So, who knew? Stuff I was doing in college is now what I am doing as a blogger in a sense. I don't plan other people's events. That's a no. No, I do not plan. However, I do know someone who can help you plan your events, but that's not me. That is not my zone of genius. It is not my strength. It is not something I like. It's not something I want to do. However, I want what I want you to take away, you know, before we get to the final toast and stuff like that, what I really want you to understand is you have to know what era you're in. I was in a frustrated era for 8 years because I was trying so hard to do for everyone else and neglecting myself. Like my mom said to me for my 35th birthday, or, you know, around my 35th birthday, is every blessing you receive, you don't have to share it with other people. Some blessings are just for you. For 8 years, every time I got blessed with an opportunity, I wanted to try to get other people on with that opportunity. Every time I figured out another way to make money as a blogger, I wanted to help other people make money in that same way. I was trying to extend and share the blessings that I received with other people who maybe they didn't have the foundation for that opportunity. Haha, see it now, right? So in the new era, it's not that I'm going to be stingy. I'm still going to share. However, I'm going to be more strategic. I'm going to work and do things with those bloggers who are optimists, who see a bleak path, but they're still moving forward to get to that opportunity, and they will make pivots and go around obstacles and do what is necessary to get there. So yeah, that is something, when my mom said that, and I've shared it with a few people, now I've shared it with all of you, but I've shared it with a few people, and they were all like, oh man, that makes so much sense, But it is, every blessing you receive, you do not have to share it with other people. And I did that for 8 years as a blogger. I wanted to share because I wanted everyone else to be blessed too. Moving into year 9, going into the new era, because number 8 means new beginnings, right? So moving into this new era, I am going to be more intentional. I am going to be focused on implementing what is necessary to bring those intentions to life. Because we can set intentions all day, every day, and never get to them because we were not focused on doing what we needed to do so that those intentions came to life. And that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to do. Have intentions. Like for 2019, I set 3 intentions. I've already met one of those 3 intentions. The other 2, one of them I may have to extend solely because I was still living in the frustrating era. So I wasn't as focused, but I was still moving and doing things. But it also comes to when I did my 40-day fast, and after I finished my 40-day fast, you can go to my blog. I'll link it up in the show notes where I talk about it. I didn't get all these outpour of financial blessings that other people post they receive after they finish a 2-day fast, a 24-hour fast, a 3-day fast, whatever length of time fast. These people are posting they receive all this stuff. I didn't receive that. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I didn't receive that. And I did 40 days. And then in that 40 days, I did a total fast. A total fast is no food. I did have water during that time. But that was it. No food, just water. I did a total fast during my 40 days. I didn't do a total fast for all 40 days, but I did do a total fast. And even with that total fast, I did not get like these boohoo outpouring of financial blessings. What I did get, you can read in that blog post. But what I'm sharing is I was intentional about working towards one intention, right? I was doing things, but during that fast, I realized I'm still playing small. I'm still not giving it 100% effort. I'm still lazy at times. I'm still procrastinating. I'm still wishy-washy at times. Like, you guys probably are like, Bernetta does this, Bernetta does that. I work. I do. I honestly do. I work. But I don't work as hard as I should or I could. I don't give 100% every single day. Real talk. I don't. I know I don't. And I could. And I should. Because if I did, I would be so much further. I would be so much further. However, so what I have decided is I am not setting new intentions until those 3 are done. So even though one is done, it's not done. It's going to be an ongoing thing. I talked about it in another blog post. Or no, I talked about it in my 40-day fast blog post. The intention was, having healthier relationships with God, myself, and the people I care about. That's going to be an everyday ongoing thing, but is there, right? I'm there. The other 2 intentions I haven't really shared what those are. Okay, here's a caveat. You don't always have to share your goals publicly. You don't. It's not for public consumption, and you don't need the whole world keeping you accountable. Okay, so that's why I'm not sharing my intentions. Anyway, the other 2 intentions, if they don't happen in 2019, guess what? I'm rolling those over to 2020 because I'm still doing the work to get there. I'm not about to change intentions because I didn't meet it in a 12-month period. Some things take a little bit longer to happen. Some things take more time. Like Danica, you guys met Danica earlier this season. She said this while she and Lakeisha and I were talking at the Get Me Paid Influencer Bootcamp. She was saying, sometimes you plant seeds and they grow. They can grow fat. And I'm paraphrasing, right? I'm paraphrasing. You can plant seeds and they can grow in a couple of days, a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of years, whatever. But sometimes you're actually planting an acorn. And an acorn can take a very long time to sprout. But an acorn has strong roots. So maybe one of the intentions that I have, I planted an acorn when I started this long journey 8 years ago. And maybe those roots were this 8 years of me, doing all that I was doing. Maybe those are the roots. And we'll start seeing some fruit bearing from that seed in 2020. So when she said that, I was like, okay, so that one intention that I really have, that I really want, maybe the roots have been there. Now it's time for me to really get in there and start cultivating and tilling. Well, I did tilling. I'll have that blog post in the show notes so you know what I'm talking about. So maybe one of my intentions was an acorn and not like a regular seed. Okay. The other intention will happen because of the acorn intention. I'm just going to say it. That intention is an acorn intention because it is something that I wanted to do, wanted to work towards, and I haven't given up on it. So I just maybe not have put it into the words that way. Anyway, long story short, we are now going to get ready to have our final toast for this episode and this season. So the final toast I want to have for episode 10 is this. In order to level up, you have to know when that era of your career is over. And you have to accept it and you have to let it go so you can move forward. The final toast I have for this season, because we talked about the real struggles of entrepreneurship, right? The real struggle that we have as entrepreneurs are usually self-inflicted. We allow thoughts to take shape in our mind. We sabotage ourselves from doing what it is we want to do for whatever reason we have, whether we don't think we're good enough, whether we don't want to be too far ahead of our family or friends, whether you're scared that you're not going to be able to handle the next level. The real struggle is an inner battle that we have to learn how to kill. We have to kill that self-doubt and fear. And in all honesty, the biggest transformation I have had is for 2 reasons, and why I'm still optimistic that I am thriving and having a successful blogging career, working with Danica Carruthers, and my focus and intentionality and developing a deeper relationship with God. Those 2 are the reason I have this transformation, and those 2 have helped me realize why I was struggling way more than I should have as an entrepreneur. All right, so that's all we have for season 9, episode 10. This is the end of a blogging era. I share consequences that I've encountered in this episode and the past 60 episodes. What I really want you guys to do is understand when your era is over so that you can have the excitement to move into where you are meant to be at the next stage in your life. So thank you guys so much for rocking with me these past 60 episodes, these past 9 seasons, and I look forward to the next episode. Go to VernettaRFree.com for the show notes. Make sure you go to VernettaRFree.com /category /podcast.